What's up, you guys? Preston James here again from the Laughing Buddha recording studio, bringing you another video and another record review. We're doing another record review this time. I was going to say tutorial because I want to do some tutorials, especially on recording. Just got a really dope rap vocal with one of my guys who just came in here, and we were kind of fucking around with some stuff and got a really good, clean, crisp vocal recording for the song that he did. But anyways, so no, not recording, not a tutorial, but another record review. And this time, we're doing Katy Perry's 143. All right, let's check it out. So Katy Perry's 143. Man, I saw some reviews. I had been listening to it. Let me back up. So I've been listening to it for at least, 2 days, maybe just a day. And then of course I'm scrolling through some of the social media sites, and I'm seeing just the worst reviews. By the way, Rolling Stone, who I love and have always loved, gave this I think a 1.5, if I'm not mistaken, or a 2. At the most, a 2.5, but I was just so let down. The last couple of album reviews that they've done have really disappointed me. It's either they're doing it just to stir the pot, stir things up and kind of get shit started, or they really feel that way, which is also a big disappointment if that's the case. Either way, it's kind of a big disappointment because I really like Rolling Stone. But anyways, it is definitely not a 2. Katy Perry's 143. Let's just get this started. I would give this album a good 6 out of 10 for sure. Scooting towards 7 out of 10. I just did Jesse Murph's album, and then that was a 7 out of 10. But this one, yeah, those first, I'd say maybe 5 songs. For sure, the first 4. I'm looking at my record right now. So the first 5 songs for sure fucking get me going. That shit I love. Man, it's got this new style for her that's got this more rap infused kind of feel to it, which is great. And it's awesome. Those first 5. We start with Woman's World, which is very the chanting, kind of, you got the kind of roar kind of feel to it, right? Which we all love that song. Firework, it's that chanting anthem kind of song. That Woman's World is really great. Gimme Gimme with 21 Savage. I pretty much love almost anything 21 does, which is also, it's a dope ass song. It's got a very smooth pop rap beat. And all of that to say with those songs, including the ones I was getting into, is Gorgeous, which I love. Gorgeous. I think that song's amazing. And of course with Doechii, which I just did her album review too, and Crush, number 5. Those, they're just fucking fire off the bat, off the jump. That shit gets started is good. But what I'm saying is, part of this is because of the engineering. Why? Serban, I always get his name wrong. Serban Jania. He is renowned as the best mixing engineer in the game. He does basically all of Taylor Swift's albums. He did this album from top to bottom. He does Ariana Grande's stuff. He does so many top tier artists. He's done the Jonas Brothers. He's done Katy Perry. Like I said, all of her other stuff, all of Taylor Swift's stuff. I mean, any top artist you can think of that's huge, especially in pop, he does it. And I don't know if you can notice this, but even with 21's verse and his intro, his vocal is so much tighter and smoother and cleaned up than it is on a lot of his records. And that's not in a bad or good way, but it's just the cleanliness of the way that Serban does his mixing. And it's just a tale of the tape for how he works. By the way, I love 21's vocal on, what's that album? Her Loss. The way a lot of his vocals are very crunchy, crispy, and just very punchy. Love that too. I do not know who the engineer is on all those. I know 40 did some of it, but I don't know if he did a lot of it or all of it. Anyways, back to 143. On this album, it's so clean and clear cut because of Serban. It really is. I think that's it's a great way to. It just gives you this very he does great with the pump feel. There's a lot of like dance tracks on here, which she gets into because she hit me hard with the 5. The first 5 hits me hard. I think that's 10 out of 10 for those first 5. 6, 7, and 8, she lost me a little bit, except for with Nirvana. The bridge and the end of Nirvana fucking captivates me and grabs my soul. And then I'm like, all right, she's bringing it back. And then, oh shit, hit me with the Artificial with JID, J-I-D. What? Stop. That song also, 10 out of 10 on that song. So you got 6 songs on here for me that are 10 out of 10. And if you have 6 songs out of 11, that's a wrap. That's a great album. And I listen to these songs continuously. I was listening to these songs over and over, and I'm still listening to them. It's a week and a half later, it's a week later, and I'm still listening to these songs. But yes, so what are we coming off from, right? I think Rolling Stone and these other critics gave this a bad review because they're looking for the same thing that she's done before. And if we expect artists to do the same thing they've done before, then A, they're not growing as an artist, and B, they're not expanding and experimenting, which you should do as an artist, in my personal opinion. You shouldn't stick with one's way and one kind of uniform cookie cutter kind of way on your career. You should expand, experiment, see what else you can do and what you're capable of, and just see how it works out, especially if it feels good, right? We talk about this, and I go off the feeling of a song and how it feels and how it really pulls me in and captivates my feelings. Not necessarily what I think about it, it's how I feel about it, right? I have a quick story. I had a philosophy professor in undergrad, well, actually community college, and he was like, this feeling, what is this feeling? I don't know what this feeling is. It's about what you think. It's all about the thinking. And I couldn't disagree more. I think that the emotional side of the intellect with people values a lot higher than than just the rational thinking part of the brain. Now, do we need both? Of course we do. You have to balance. I think it's a balance. But I also think the emotional part keys us in and hones us in to have a more successful, better, happier life. And some people won't see it that way, and that's totally fine. It's not about being happy. It's about doing what you got to do to make money and make sure your family's good. And you can have it all. You can really have it all and balance it all out. You can do them both. So don't let anybody tell you different. And if you see it the other way, that's okay too. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's how I see it. Anyways, I think they're expecting that, and that's not what they got. And so they're like, no, we don't, this is not good. It's a 2 out of 10 and just, or 2 out of 5, whatever. It wasn't good to them. Fuck that noise. This shit is good and it goes hard. I think there's some club anthems on here. I think there's some let's chill in the car and just fucking bump this shit. I think there's let's sit in my room and pump some workout. I think there's some workout music on here. And I think there's let's just chill and take a drive kind of casually kind of music on here. Or just walk in the park with my headphones and listen to some Katy Perry 143 type of shit, right? So don't let other people's opinions and manifestations from within themselves and expecting from their expectations kind of feed and breathe down your throat and take you over. Don't let that like sink into your mind in the way you think, right? They're definitely projecting. Me and a coworker were talking about that with some of our students and how they kind of project, middle school students. But they're definitely these critics are projecting. So yeah, don't let these people do that to you. All right, so where's she coming from? She's coming from her first album in 2008 that kind of put her on the map, or did put her on the map. One of the Boys, good album. Didn't really listen to it that much, but really got into Teenage Dream. We got Snoop Dogg on there. We got a bunch of certified hits on there, right? Teenage Dream. And then we go into Prism. Prism was fantastic. Roar, all the good stuff. We got some of the good Katy Perry right there. Some of that prime Katy Perry right there. And then we have Witness, which kind of, did this. Not too many people were talking about it, but still a good album. And then Smile. Smile, surprisingly, I couldn't tell you another song on there though. But I'm terrible with names of songs, by the way. I'm also terrible with names of songs. And it's like more like I'm back from the 90s and early 2000s where I'm like, oh, track number 6, track number 9. So I'm terrible with names. But I definitely know the album, what songs are on there without giving the name. I'm like, oh yeah, that's on that album, huh? Oh, number 3, I think it is, number 4. Anyways, but Smile just didn't get a lot of claim, and I can't really say too much about it myself. We don't speak negative about artists and people on this podcast interview review kind of forum here, but we do kind of reflect on the things that didn't do so well in society, if you will. So, or with the people. So Smile was one of those albums. And then Smile was in 2020. So Prism was 2013. Sorry, Teenage Dream was 2010. Prism 2013. Witness in 2017. Then we got 143 in 2024. So that's her lineup. That's her album. So to the good stuff, right? Getting over that kind of negative kind of feel. So who do we got on here? She stuck with Dr. Luke for a lot of this. I know there's some, we won't get into that, but we set that shit aside, right? We don't listen to, in my opinion, we don't listen to the music to get into people's personal lives. We listen to the music because that's what they create and we like what they create. We're not really kind of focused on the people they are per se. I mean, it does matter and it doesn't matter. It's a really hard kind of balance. I know that one of my favorite bands is As I Lay Dying. And if you know anything about that band, you definitely know what I'm talking about. And it's kind of hard to separate the two. But at the same time, if it sounds good, it is good, right? We've talked about that again. It is. I try to separate that as much as possible. So Dr. Luke did a lot of the production on this. So did, as well as Aaron Joseph, Dr. Luke. Rocco did it again. I'm not really sure what that person's name is, but Rocco did it again. Ryan Ogren, Von Oliver, Malibu Baby, and K Beezy. So those are the producers on the album. That's it. She just stuck with this. Again, she stuck with the main people for this album. This album only has 11 songs on it, and she stuck with the same engineers and the same producers, kind of an array of songwriters. We'll get there in a second, but the same engineers and same producers from top to bottom, from start to finish, which, as I've said before, I really appreciate and really like. It gives a very cohesive sound to the artist's particular sound for that album, and I think that it allows everybody to be on the same page and kind of and follow suit according to what Katy Perry or Dr. Luke or somebody else that's kind of running the background of the album per se, kind of the backdrop of the album. So this collaboration of people and keeping those people from top to bottom, front to back is a very smart thing to do, I believe. Doesn't mean it doesn't mean it'll go wrong if you don't do it, but I do think it creates that kind of conglomerate of consistency from top to bottom. So anyways, so for producers for the album, she has Aaron Joseph, Dr. Luke, Rocco Did It Again, Ryan Ogren, Von Oliver, Malibu Baby, and K Beezy. That's it. Those are only producers on the album. Again, 11 songs, those are the producers. For the mixing engineers, she did Serban Gania. Like I said, he's done John Baptiste, he's done Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, Olivia Rodrigo, One Republic, just to name a few. He's done so many. One of the Jonas Brothers, if not, he did the collab, like when they did their individual projects as well as when they did it together as the Jonas Brothers. But anyways, so yeah, he's done a lot of stuff, man. And that's as good as it gets in the engineering game. Ask any engineer. He is the top engineer in the world. And he's amazing. But Serban and Bryce Bardon, he was the assistant mixing engineer on this. Again, every single song Serban did with his assistant. Recording engineers, there's only five of them. There's Kehlani Thompson, who did most of the recording. Then you have Clint Gibbs, Tyler Shepard, Grant Horton as an assistant, and Rachel Finland as an assistant. So basically she has 3 people who are the recording engineers from top to bottom. Again, I keep saying top to bottom, but it's true. From beginning to end of this album, she has the same mixing engineers, the same recording engineers, and the same producers, creating that consistency, giving it that solid, unique, personable sound of likeness from top to bottom, from start to finish. All right. So again, she did a great job. I love it. 6 songs out of the 11 songs that are amazing. I think that's a great album. There's albums that I like that only have 3 good songs on them, and I consider some of those albums with 3 to 4 good songs on them like good albums, right? Like, and she has 6. 6 of these songs fucking hit. So, gosh, she's got an array of she's got a spectrum of songwriters on here. Katy Perry, of course, Aaron Joseph, Von Oliver coming in on the songwriting as well. Chloe Angelidis, Lucas Gottwald, Rocco Valdez, Ryan Ogden again. See, she's got people from the producing and mixing and recording side, also tapping into the songwriting side. Again, keeping that circle of people on your projects is a smart thing. Samuel Catalino, Lano, Ferris Agassi, Kim Petras, which she is the one who is featured on the song Gorgeous. Again, amazing song. Probably my second favorite song on the album. Malibu Baby, Max Martin helped write some of this as well. And if those of you out there listening, you definitely know who Max Martin is. And if you don't know, go check out Max Martin, because he's written probably every single big hit pop song there's been in the last like 15 to 20 years, including Blinding Lights, which is one of the longest running hit pop songs in history, I believe. Crystal Waters, Neil Conway, Keegan Bach, Emily Warren, Scott Harris. I am posting them, as I do always, right here. You can see all of the songwriters and the engineers as well, even though I've talked about them. Again, great album, 6 out of 11 songs. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a solid 7, possibly 8 out of 10. I know at the beginning I said 6 to 7 out of 10. I'm gonna give that 7 to 8 out of 10. Let's fuck it, solid 8 out of 10. Love this album. Listen to this album more than I have her other ones. And I mean albums. I listen to other songs by Katy Perry, but not albums. And this one, I'm listening to all 6 of those songs kind of on repeat. Especially that song Artificial. It's probably my favorite song on the album. Yeah, I'd have to say so. That was really good. And the one with 21, Gimme Gimme. Whew. So, all right. So I've been talking 1,000 miles an hour. My high energy just comes out when I'm on the mic. So yes, let me know what you think. Comments. Please like, follow, subscribe if you want. I'm going to be dropping more album reviews. Hopefully, again, like I said before, 2 a week. I just dropped Jesse Murph's a little behind the table on that, a little behind the table on That Ain't No Man, That's the Devil album release, which was a while ago, but I just dropped it. But that's okay. Dropping this a week later, so they're kind of back to back. I'm also gonna be dropping one on a group called High on Fire. That's the next one I'll be dropping, High on Fire, a metal album. I listen to a very diverse crowd of music, as I consider myself something. I don't know what the word is for that, but I love all music, and I think if it sounds good, it is good. So yeah, let me know what you think. Love you guys. Be safe. You know what we like to say here. Do what you got to do to get to where you want to be, so you can do what you want to do. Again, do what you got to do to get to where you want to be, so you can do what you want to do. Love you guys. Be safe. Release your music. Release your content. Release your tutorials, release your videos, release your music, release it, release your content. The world is a shitty place, and I guarantee you releasing some of this, especially if it's positive, out into the world will help make the world a better place. You matter. The world matters. You make the world a better place by just being in it. Please release your content. Love you guys. Be safe. You have a voice. Again, the name of my podcast, I think I'm going to call this, is called Let Them Hear You. That's what we like to say here as well. I am all over the place today. Love you guys. Be safe. Stay out of trouble. See you next time.